Welcome back to episode number 25 of Fork This City. And today we're forking into Anassa Taverna. Is that how you say it? I don't know. On the Upper East Side, sitting right across the street from the one and only Bloomingdale's. We're breaking down what's actually worth ordering, the vibes, and whether Anassa lives up to the hype or just survives off the location. And let me tell you something, prime location. Then we get into some heated dining topics. Are lemons in water necessary? Why do restaurants still think we tolerate wobbly tables in the year 2026? And of course, to close things out, Gabby heads downtown for a coffee review at Hani's, apparently called Honey's Bakery. Episode 25, Fork This City, starts right now. I'm your co-host, Josh Einbinder, joined alongside Gabby Martin, aka Instagrubs. Gabby, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday when this podcast is being posted for all of you to see. Happy to be here for episode 25. I also want to say we're going viral on Facebook, which I forgot to mention to you, Josh. So everyone go ahead and follow. What is my name on Facebook? I need to change
Like
it to
New York
Fork This
City
City.
dining or something like that,
I
right?
don't know what it is. So essentially, when you make a professional Instagram page, you have to connect it to a Facebook. This isn't like 2017. So Instagrubs is connected to some random Facebook page. And it's called right now New York City Eats. I want to change it to Fork This City, but it's saying I like changed the name too recently. But I had 70 followers. I don't know why. I guess I did. I've been posting a lot of our reels from Fork This City. I now have 313 followers on Facebook. And our Chinatown restaurant, which we haven't reviewed on the podcast yet, which
No,
we
we have
definitely
not.
need to do,
Yeah.
has currently 563 likes, 50 shares, and 13 comments. And there are some fights in the comments. Maybe we can read some of the comments because people are fighting with each other. And I think it's funny because they're not
Yeah.
mad at us, they're just arguing.
Let's hear it.
Oh, we're going straight into it.
Yeah.
Someone said, I'm sorry, this is a tourist trap. And then someone started defending it, and people are like, I've been going there forever. My mom's lived, who's 93, used to love that spot.
Actually, now that you say that, tourist traps, this is my new pet peeve when someone says it's a tourist trap. How do you define tourist trap? For example, the Margaritaville in Times Square, tourist trap. And a great shout out to hopefully a future guest of the show, John Barr. This is his whole concept is he really goes to restaurants in New York and goes to see if something's a tourist trap or not. Is Katz is a tourist
Cool.
trap? Things like that. Namwa Tea Parlor, which we will review on a future episode, is not necessarily a tourist trap just because tourists go there. And I don't know how we gauge what truly is a tourist trap or not. Well, I have to say that for John.
M&M World's a tourist trap. It's like a very average place with lots of people, and it's just chaotic. I don't feel like reading these comments. There's a lot, but people are just saying mean things to each other and debating if it's good or not, which I think that's the type of content we want. So yeah, follow us on New York City Eats, which will be changed on Facebook, but that's pretty cool. So the other thing we wanted to talk about today is we've gotten some feedback, not from anyone, like I don't even know who from, but people are saying that we're tearing down businesses and us giving honest reviews could be harmful to restaurants. So we're going to address it because I think the career of a food critic has existed forever. And I don't think we are the first people to go and critique food and restaurants. So I feel like what we're doing here is we're trying to go to places in New York City that have a lot of hype around them and telling you if it's worth it or not. Because as we know, it's 2026 and places go TikTok viral and then they have huge lines. And like, if you want to go, you're going to have to wait online for an hour. And it's really frustrating when people do that and then they didn't like their experience. They were like, why is everyone hyping this up? The reason is because influencers are being asked to do so and maybe getting paid, maybe not. But we're trying to come on here and tell you, like, is it worth it or not? And that's what is missing in this food influencer universe because it's so hard to know what's good or not because food influencers have other agendas to promote restaurants, which I get, like, get your coin. But we're trying to make it worth your time.
I think Our running joke about opening a restaurant called Transparency um, is really true, is we're trying to be transparent, right? And I think the goal of this podcast is never to tear down a mom and pop shop. I know the restaurant industry is very challenging and very, very hard to operate in. But really, our goal is to tell you, the listeners, the truth behind the places in New York. And, we do hit some other cities sometimes. And that's ultimately the goal is to give you an unfiltered, unbiased opinion of restaurants. And to your point, there are a lot of influencers, and this is not to shame them or to call anyone out, that get paid for the reviews, number one. So, of course, the review is naturally better and positive. But two, I am over the fact of seeing food influencers review and say, this is the best X I've ever had. This is the best Y I've ever had. It's just not true. Not every place you go to can ever be the best of something. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means let's be realistic about these places. I don't think, in my opinion, we've ever torn down a small business. I think we've merely just told the truth and given our opinions, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And that's what this podcast is transparent, honest reviews.
It's funny because my parents always said I should be a food critic because as a child I would sit down for dinner and whatever my mom made, I'd be like, that's gross. I don't want that, which is really annoying of me, first of all. But second of all, their response would always be, you should be a food critic when you're older. And it's actually coming full circle here because we are food critics now.
And also, it runs in my family, food critics, and I think it comes with the territory. People are very critical these days. So of course they're not going to like when something negative is said. But I think in general, and if you're a small business that we've had on the podcast, you know that our goal is purely to tell your story and showcase your business to New Yorkers, to tourists, to anyone who's just interested in the New York food scene. And I will die on that hill is we have a lot of cool collabs coming up.
Yeah.
And those are restaurants who have graciously given us their time, and we're going to give them their time by giving them what they deserve, which is a positive profile um, and honest feedback if we do or don't like something.
Yeah. I don't, it sounds like we're doing damage control for like a real problem, and it's not even a real problem. It's just
No.
like us saying what our thoughts are. I don't know.
Yeah.
But jumping in to the pod, we have fun things to talk about, a bunch of different things. But tomorrow I am going to Oresh. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe a different, it's not tomorrow, Sunday. And I'm very, very excited to come back here. But I want you to try it first because I want to do the review with you.
Mhm.
But I've been hearing a lot of mixed things about Oresh. And I'm going to try to go into it with the mindset that it's not impossible to get into because we know that skews our ranking sometimes. Because I was thinking about E. Cavallini. I swear, if you ask me now, I would say I didn't like it. Like it, my review goes down every time I think about it.
There is definitely um uh I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like there's definitely like a psychological thing behind the
It's
fact that
magic.
yeah,
That's
like
my best way to describe
a
it.
hard reservation to get like almost instantly makes you want to rate it higher. And
Yeah.
and you're right. I mean, Evol gets very high ratings. We didn't give a high rating to, but the E Cavallinis of the world, I think at first we are like, we have to give this like a nine. And the more you think about it,
Yeah. Evo wasn't the same. It didn't have that vibe to me that it was like so impossible to get in for some reason. But yeah, like I don't know, E Cavallini corner store, right? When I went back, I was like, okay, this is good, but it's not a 10 on Belly. It's over a 9 for sure, but whatever. So I'm very excited to try everything there, and I'm going to try to be level-headed and not biased.
did you see what the corner store is doing? They're giving out the Samoa Sunday and like the baseball helmets.
Okay. I don't want to sound like an annoying influencer. It was on story time, and I would have got to cut the line if I was in town. I was so upset. I literally got a notification from Storytime. That's the influencer app where I can do collabs. And it said Corner Store is on it for the weekend. But I was in New Jersey and it said, come by, get a free Samoa Sunday and cut the line. I almost shed a tear
Yeah.
because I love that Samoa Sunday so much. And you said there's a hat?
It was served like ice cream in a baseball helmet at baseball games. It was in like a
Oh,
green corner store helmet, and
that's
it
super
was
cool.
adorable. Whatever PR firm worked on that, I mean, very very good. You people know what you're doing.
It's the same people that are in charge of Oresh, Catch, the 86.
Well, not necessarily. That's like their PR firm. I'm talking about like marketing agency. It's not always the same.
Oh. Well, I actually saw on Instagram that people are very impressed with them because people think that's good pop-up stand is going to be something new like every week because I guess they turned a space that they weren't using in the restaurant into like that little pop-up, which is so cool.
Yeah, they could do like lobster rolls when it gets really scorching
Like,
hot out for the summer.
yeah, they can do anything.
Yeah. And it's a good point of entry if you can't get into the restaurant, which the restaurant's virtually impossible to get into.
Yeah, they did a French dip one too, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't remember, but that's cool.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of pop-ups, and it's funny because now that I've been in the restaurant, I always was wondering what was like behind one of the doors when you walk in, and I think it's the pop-up kitchen or
Mm,
space. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, corner store. Shout out to Corner Store. Like they know what they're doing.
yeah.
Anassa Tavern.
Yeah. Let's dive into Anassa Tavern. It's across from Bloomingdale's. I do believe they have two locations. I believe the other one is in Astoria. And whether it's Taverna or Tavern, I never really do know. But
I'm on their
Belly's
website right now. There's actually it
Belly
says
says
three
it's
locations.
Belly says it's Taverna, but I've always called it Tavern my entire life.
It says Taverna on their website. It says there's one in Midtown, Astoria, and downtown. It's
So
downtown.
listen, I'll preface with this. If you I firmly believe this about the area of like 50th to 68th Street between First Ave and Lex. The dining options in that area are bleak. Like, and I'm not talking about Anasa yet. I think like if you need like a good dinner with like good vibes for meeting parents, meeting friends, Anasa's perfect for that. Um, I don't think there are a lot of other restaurants in that area that like accomplish that vibe. There's an Italian place on 61st and 3rd. I think it's Isle of Capri, which is similar, I guess, in terms of vibe. But I think Anasa is on its own island in that area of that specific kind of restaurant.
I'm gonna argue Rosemary's is also that
But
level.
Rosemary's is so basic, you know what I mean? Like if you don't want like a
Oh, you're
basic
saying
place.
Anasa's not as much of a chain.
Yeah, like not like a Smith La Pecora.
So, okay, that's funny. You read my mind though. I was gonna say Anasa kind of reminds me of the Smith
Interesting.
because it's super expensive for
It
like
is
what you
expensive, yes.
get. So I actually went with a family friend, funny enough, when you say like that's the type of person you go with.
Hmm.
And I remember ordering and I was like, wait, this is so much money for like Mediterranean food. So start with that. But I guess it's not a chain, but like it's the same way I feel about the Smith. I would be happy to go, but if I was being treated by like work or like my family, that's where I would want to go. Like that would be the context I would want to go.
Anasa has two floors, and I think the second floor is like great if you ever want to rent out a space and you need like third like space for like 30, 40 people because that can be a completely private space. And then they open the doors on the main level when it's warm out, which is really nice. I do like feeling that like outdoor feel, but to your point, it is very expensive, especially for the food they're delivering. Like I don't think if you're the food isn't bad by any means, but like the food shouldn't be that expensive if the food is only like okay. And I don't know if it's just a byproduct of like they're in Midtown, everything's expensive these days or what, but yeah, I think the Greek salad's like 25 bucks.
Yeah, my review's overall very positive. So I'm looking at the menu and it's not showing the fried zucchini chips.
Mhm.
It is like amazing. I think those fried zucchini chips are so good. And they come with the side of like, I don't know, I don't want to make up what the side is. I think it's like a tzatziki sauce.
It
It's a
is.
sauce.
It
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
I think those are so good, and I'm not a zucchini chip person, but it comes like on a stick with like all the round fried zucchinis, and I actually think it's an amazing appetizer.
We got them a couple weeks ago when we went, and as good as they were, and the people listening know, I do not like chips. I don't care if it's in potato chip form or zucchini chip form. There's just something so unsatisfying to me about eating a chip. Like, I'd rather do no snacks, no pretzels, no chips, and just have a big entree. So for me, I could have done without the zucchini chips. Um, we've
They're not
got
chips though.
They're zucchini pieces that are fried.
Yeah, so it's
Right, so
like
it's a chip.
calamari. So would you say calamari's a chip? It's pieces of
Gabby,
octopus that are
that
fried.
is a ridiculous stretch. A crunchy
I'm just
thing.
arguing it's the shape.
A fried calamari isn't the shape of a chip, though.
Is a fried Oreo a chip?
Gabby, this is such a stretch. I think I'm gonna clip this and put this on social. This is like the most absurd stretch I've ever heard.
But
A
I
zucchini
feel
chip
like I'm
is a
making good
chip.
points.
No, I feel like most people are gonna agree with me that a zucchini chip is comparable to like a potato chip. Like
No,
it's
I got it. I'm just kind of being annoying, but I
Yeah,
think it's funny.
chips are gross. Like I do
I
not
like
like.
chips, but I'm not obsessed with
I think their
chips.
I think their dips are better. Their hummus actually was probably my least favorite dip, surprisingly.
I didn't get the dips.
And their pita bread is good and it comes out with a lot of pieces.
I love pita bread. And it's complimentary. And as we've said on the podcast, I think every type of restaurant should have a complimentary dish to start.
Hmm.
And 19 Cleveland, I went with my mom a few weeks ago. I actually wasn't the biggest fan, but they gave you a piece of falafel complimentary. And the thought, very nice. I
It,
liked that a lot.
it goes a long way. I think that whether it's pita bread, Italian like normal bread in an Italian restaurant, chips and salsa, chips and guac,
Right.
it's a
Guac's never
nice
free, but
no,
salsa.
which I think is terrible. I think that's
Avocados are
terrible.
expensive.
I know, but if I sat down at a Mexican restaurant and I got chips and guac, I'd be like, huh, this place doesn't play.
I think they would lose a lot of money because say it's like, I don't know, at Chipotle it's like a few dollars, but say the guac is like, we're gonna go five, which is probably very low. I would say every table orders the guac, unless
Yeah.
you are a loser and don't eat guac like Bob Martin. So I don't know. I
Does
think they would
Bob
lose a
just
lot
not
of
like
money.
the consistency of avocados?
I think he's like, oh, it's green. I can't eat that.
Oh, no, I think avocados are delicious. I think you know what the worst that I hate to say this, the worst some of the worst guac I've ever had is from a place I really like, Los Tacos number one. I do not like their guac.
They have guac.
Yeah. I had it today.
Like a side of guac, or are you
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah, you can get chips on the side of guac.
I didn't even know they had guac?
Yeah.
Wow. That's sad. They're an institution and they'll be fine.
Yeah,
So
no, it's a delicious tacos. I just the guac. I think Chipotle has a better tasting guac.
that's fair.
I
Did
don't
you
like
get
saying
any?
guac. Guacamole. Guac is sounds wrong.
I love
Guac.
it. The color's a little sketchy when you first start getting into it, but then delicious meal. Did you
Yeah.
get any other appetizers at Anassa?
We've gotten the grilled octopus before, and I think it's very good, very tasty. I will say the last time I got it, it was a little on the chewy side, but I'm not blaming that on them. I think a lot of these restaurants that do grilled octopus, it's very hit or miss.
It's
I don't
hard.
know. Yeah, it's very hard, especially like Opto, I thought had a great octopus. It was not chewy. The mint really added a nice flavor, but who knows like how old these octopus are? Like were they made an hour ago? Like when were they last living? How fresh are they? There are a lot of questions when it comes to octopus, so as long as it tastes good, it's probably fine.
I actually have a story about Opto, but I want to finish this review first. Okay. And then for mains, I got the lamb kebab, which I am not into lamb, but I asked if I can get a chicken kebab instead, and they said no.
Mm.
I don't love that. And I keep looking away because I'm skimming the menu. And the frustrating thing is that one of the from the land entrees, the first one, chicken breast. You couldn't just like cut that chicken breast up and like put it on a stick. Like, I don't know.
I want to talk about this for a second. I despise when restaurants are like, sorry, we can't substitute that. Unless something is pre-made and like it can't touch something else for some reason, I will gladly pay for it to be substituted. And I don't like these places are like the chef can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean the chef can't do it? Takes you like when someone can't put like shrimp on a salad or something like that. I'm like, what do you mean? If you have the shrimp, you have the salad, put
Right.
it together.
Right. And they could just charge you more. It's not on the menu, so they could choose the price.
Yeah.
I just find if you have kebabs, you should have a chicken one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very standard. So rubbed me the wrong way. However, I liked the lamb kebab. It was really good. I don't see prices on the menu, but I feel like it was over $30. And for kebabs, I'm just like, there's actually a place in White Lake, New York, called Yanni's, and they have the best chicken kebabs ever, and it's like cheap.
Yeah.
So that's what I want. No, I don't need
Yeah.
a $30+ chicken or lamb kebab.
Yeah. I've had two entrees from there before. I've had the hamburger, which is good. It's a hamburger. Like I
A
have nothing to say about it.
hamburger.
Yeah. I actually
Oh,
haven't seen it on the menu lately, but I have a photo of eating the burger
it
that,
is.
oh, you do see it?
Yeah, it's under the lamb kebab, funny enough.
Oh,
It
good.
says the beef burger, which I don't know why they need to specify beef, but I guess sometimes at those places it could be like lamb.
Yeah. And the second entree I've gotten from there before is the Greek salad. And
Yum.
I have one slight complaint about this Greek salad. I actually
Oh.
enjoy it. I think the chicken is good. I think the tomatoes, the cucumbers. I don't like the fetas are like long blocks of feta. And every time I've gotten it, I cut up the feta very small.
I agree. It needs to be in really small pieces.
Yeah, I don't like this. It's like an iceberg of feta, and it's too much feta. I don't know.
Some people like that.
I doubt it's out of laziness. This is probably how the dish was constructed. But
Yeah.
I'm like, can you maybe cut up the feta? It's just easier from a logistic standpoint of eating the salad to have cut up feta. But it's very good. It's fresh.
Well, I love how I have a counterpoint. You can get like a Bob loves a or the wedge salad that you have to cut it yourself. So they just put the head of lettuce and like sprinkle some bacon.
Hmm. I don't like bacon.
Is that laziness? I don't either.
No.
I don't know. I feel you with the feta. Not a reason to not go there,
No.
but if we're
It,
being
it
nitpicky,
it's a good restaurant, like especially if you can't find anything else. Am I running back there once a month? No, but like I gave it a solid score on Belly. It does the job. It will break the bank a little bit,
it
especially
will.
if you're like four people. It's going to be expensive, and that's even without drinks.
I'm actually looking at, right. Oh my God, I had an amazing drink there. Now that you mention it, I don't remember it. I went and it was a while ago. I want to look up what I gave it on Belly because I'm pretty sure it's high. 9.5.
That's a high
Ooh,
score.
yours is the 9. No, I think the way we're talking about it isn't doing it justice. I actually think the food's really, really good. It's just too expensive. And like you could get other Mediterranean food that's amazing elsewhere.
Yeah, well, it's funny enough. Dear Margot is from the same team behind Anassa Tavern,
I want to
and
go so
And
bad.
I thought Dear Margot was better than Anasa. That said, though, Dear Margot's menu is obviously different, and I would say less Greek, more like Mediterranean, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, like more Middle Eastern, but
I want to
still
go.
at the same time, they clearly who's behind these restaurants. They know what they're doing because the food's good.
Dear Margot's making a replica of the Motex sandwich, which is my absolute favorite, favorite,
Their
favorite
schnitzel was good.
dish.
Their schnitzel was very good.
It's the chicken schnitzel sandwich that I would like to try.
Yeah, it was good.
So if Dear Margot's listening, help me get in because it got really hard to get into. I'm happy for them
We
though.
walked in. We were very lucky. It was like the first week it was open. We walked right in.
Yeah, you knew about it. We should
Yeah.
have went there for the pod.
Yeah.
Would you go back?
Yeah, I'd go back.
Oh wow, okay. So that means it
I'd go
was
back.
pretty
No, it
good.
was good. I'd go back, but you know my policy. I like to go to new
I
restaurant.
understand. I understand, but sometimes I feel like these staples, we gotta do them for the pod.
Yeah.
And we're going to dinner tonight and Jamie booked it and won't tell us where. So we don't know if it's gonna end up on the podcast because who knows where we're going. The TikTok trend. It's actually pretty, I think it's cute.
Yeah. Actually,
She's
yeah,
gonna have
like
to
I think we're going to here. I think we're going to there. Yeah.
I don't even want to guess because I feel like it's just gonna be a place I've never heard of
Yeah,
before.
it's gonna be a place I haven't heard of.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, but she's gonna have to give us some sort of address, so that we can
Yeah,
go.
and soon, in the next like 4 or 5 hours. I think dinner's at 7:30.
I have no idea. Okay, moving on. I'm doing a coffee review. I want to review this place as a whole, but I need to wait till Josh goes. Hani's Bakery, aka apparently Honey's. Everyone says Hani's though, if we're gonna be real. It is in the East Village, really close to me. I've walked by it all the time. Always wanted to go. And my camp friend was like, "Oh my God, how have you not been? Let's go get like breakfast and coffee there." I will speak to the maple sea salt latte. It was delicious. It was literally dessert, though, for being honest. Like, this is not an everyday before work coffee. You would also gain like 30 pounds, and
Mm.
it's a dessert coffee. So I just want to say it was very, very good. I highly recommend if you like a sweet, but also like that salt, like sea salt taste. And comes with a foam on top. Overall, very positive experience there. I loved the food, but I want to save that for the podcast. But if you are looking for a new coffee adventure, I would recommend going to Hani's.
I can't attest or speak to it because I have no idea, but I do know it's a hype place. I always see people waiting for it.
Yeah, people are waiting. I waited online for 10 minutes or less. Was not bad. I went at I think it was like 10:30 on a Saturday, which is prime time, I would say.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to give a shout out to Mato Espresso. You are very underrated. You are on every block. Everyone just walks by you. I hear you. I see you. Mato, if you are listening, I think you should come on the podcast because I'm your number one fan. Your chocolate chip cookie slaps. You heard it here on the podcast first.
And I think people need to hear from Motto firsthand. How do you guys have so many locations? My
How do
God.
they afford rent?
Yeah. I mean, I always look outside, like they have the cook the pastries like outside in the
The
window. Like I
cookie
always
was
look, but I'm always like,
literally, I have their cookie right in front of me.
oh wow.
Because it's on story time, so I get to like work with them once a month, and I always get coffee and a cookie. And yesterday they gave me a blueberry muffin. It kind of was like a corn muffin with blueberries. Really good. So yeah, just want to give them their shout out because I feel like no one believes in them, and I do.
Hmm.
So
Well, I want to dive into some pet peeves, and I'll give a shout out to Ethan Schiffman who gave us the ideas for these pet peeves.
just one.
We're gonna go into two, or did
Yeah,
he
but he
give
came
one
up
idea?
with one of them.
Okay. So the first I want to talk about, and I think a lot of restaurants these days are actually learning their lesson, is lemons being in water. Now, I will say, I can't think of the last time a lemon came in the water. It's usually served on the side, but I will say, shame. Shame if you put lemon in a water without asking.
Actually, funny you say that. Shout out Ethan Schiffman. Okay, so this was not his pet peeve. His pet peeve is the other one we're going to talk to, but he asked Emmy and I to get breakfast last week in New Jersey when we were all there. And we were like, sure. And we were arguing about like the time because he wanted to go really early and we wanted to go late. And he was like, guys, it's my birthday. And we were like, oh my God, whatever you want. And he chose to go to the Tenafly Classic Diner. Great diner. They are actually the owners of the Sparta Diner, which I'm sure you'll get to try this
Hmm.
summer. And guess what? Lemon was in the water. So funny you mentioned that. I hate lemon in water.
Part of me wonders if that is like a diner trend. I feel like I do notice that in diners that they kind of just go for it with the lemons, but I think that's really
Oh.
bad. You can't have the lemons in the water. They need to be aside.
I agree. I mean, I want to cancel lemons altogether. If you listen to this podcast, you know I'm against the lemon. But yeah, something about lemon in water, I really don't like it, but I like it in Diet Coke. But that's because it just gives a little bit of a taste. Diet Coke is so strong, the lemon doesn't take over. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think you should ask permission if lemon should be in water. So
Yeah.
that was a pet peeve that came up.
And especially because I don't like lemon, like in general. I
Except you like
I
lemon
like lemon
pasta.
pasta. Yes, I knew you were going to say that, but I don't like squeezing lemons over like octopus, which is a thing actually, and squeezing lemon over
Uh,
other dishes.
yeah, it's not my fave. So it sometimes it's in Caesar salad dressing and you don't notice. I did learn that at Carbone.
Mm. And then the second pet peeve is wobbly tables.
Yeah, so
Now,
this is what. Ethan wanted us to speak about on the pod.
This is another thing that Larry David tackles on Curb Your Enthusiasm is wobbly tables, and he nails the tables to the ground. Now,
What do you mean?
like he literally makes sure they are nailed to the ground so they can't move.
Okay.
Now, pros and cons to that. Pros, tables don't wobble. Con, that has to be a severe fire hazard. Severe.
Why? The
Because
people
like
could
in the
still get
event of an
out.
emergency, like they might have
It's
to move
blocking
tables.
people from
Yeah.
exiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one likes getting a wobbly table, or for that matter, a wobbly chair, because it's so not a big deal to anyone else. But when it's your chair, you can't unfocus about it. Like it's all I could think about.
Yeah. And I also think about this a lot is how many of these restaurants have probably like have replaced tables and chairs since they opened. Like and I would go out on a limb and say probably not very often. This isn't like the
I don't
aviation
know.
industry where they have A checks, B checks, where essentially the planes are pulled out of service every couple months and they service the engines, they like take down the whole cabin, they replace the seats. They don't do that in the restaurant industry. So to me, it's like if a restaurant's been open 10 years and the table's fine for the most part, I assume they don't do anything with the table.
I have nothing to say. I don't know who's doing compliance checks
Of
on the
course, I
table.
was able to figure out how to mention aviation in a
And airplanes, yeah, we know that's your
a
restricted interest.
big shout out to Kobe Explains, one of my favorite aviation geeks. He's getting married, I think at the end of this month. So
Why
yes,
is he getting a shout out here?
because I was watching his video last night about why people aren't ordering the 777Xs. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Back to food.
yeah,
Wobbly tables, yeah, it's really annoying. Sometimes they can like slide something under it. I don't even know what I have to say about it. It's just annoying.
it's annoying. I've never like left a restaurant and been like, wobbly table, like I'll never go back. But it's definitely like when you sit down, it's one of those things. You know the Ben Affleck meme where he's smoking a cigarette and he's like rolling his eyes back. I think it's like I'll put it in a clip. It's I think in response to, like Jennifer Lopez giving him attitude because no one likes Jennifer Lopez. And that's like how I feel. It's like my eyes roll back when I get a wobbly table and I'm like, ugh, here we go again. So that was episode 25 of Fork This City. We covered Anassa, we covered some pet peeves, we covered Honey's Bakery, we covered Mato Coffee Espresso. Um, you can follow us on Instagram at Fork This City Pod. We have a lot of cool interviews and collaborations coming out the month of June, so keep an eye out for that. You can follow us on TikTok at Fork This City. Get your podcast on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. Give us a 5-star rating. It really helps with our visibility. And of course, thanks for listening as always.
And we're on Facebook as New York City Eats.
But
And that won't be different.
eventually fork this city.
Yeah. We will see you next time for episode 26. Peace out, motherforkers.